Hi, I'm Lesia, an events organizer. In June 2021, along with the Swiss Convention Bureau, I went on inspection tour. This is how I found myself in the historic city of Bern, where I took literally hundreds of photos, climbed the highest Swiss cathedral, spoke to the president chef de cuisine, learned how to design hotels, and even discovered where bears actually walk in the city. I had known little about the city of candy color fountains with watercolor views of the Aire River. I knew Bern in the center of Switzerland's political life. You'll find the country's government and parliament here, and its central bank too. The symbol of the city is bear. The very name Bern became consonant with the German word Bär. Bears are everywhere in Bern. The city's coat of arms, fountains, sculptures, you'll even find bears made of chocolate. Albert Einstein, the author of the theory of relativity, once worked at the city's patent bureau. Amazingly, in 2016, Bern was declared the most Instagrammable capital in the world. And I still had not a single picture from this magical place. Bern is just an hour from Zurich Airport. You can go by car, if you have heavy luggage like we did, or you can easily take the train. We left the car in the hotel's underground car park and got around using city transport, as every visitor in Bern gets a free transit card for streetcar, bus, cable car, and even cogwheel railways. This avoids the nightmare of having to park your car in the city's historic center. We stayed at Swiss Hotel Kursaal, which connects to the city center via open-work arched bridge, Cornhusker. The hotel is a reflection of Swiss national character, iconic and functional, which combines architectural details with nature. On the terrace of the lobby bar, there is a lake with carp. When we arrived, Kursaal Congress Center was hosting a conference. All participants took a COVID test at the entrance and then could circulate freely. It's great to see in-person live events coming back. Carmen Fuchs shares her thoughts about Swiss Hotel and Congress Center Kursaal.
Everything is under one roof, so that's very easy for a client to organize an event, and they have everything in the same building. We can organize almost every kind of event. We have a lot of exhibitions, a lot of medical conferences, smaller meetings from local companies, a lot of general assemblies in spring, also award ceremonies, Christmas parties. Yeah, really a lot of different events we can organize.
Swiss Hotel had just opened its doors after a major refurbishment. Now it has several suites, some with in-suite gyms. The mini bars are incredible too. Everything you need for your coffee pleasure is neatly laid out like a shop window. And of course, bears are everywhere. In my room, there was a gift waiting, a big almond-colored teddy bear, one of Bern's most sought-after business souvenirs. We went out for a stroll through the city streets with Bernard Rhein, head of the Bern Convention Bureau. We took in the Parliament, the clock tower with its puppet show, and of course, one of the city's main highlights, Münster Cathedral. This year, the cathedral celebrates being 600 years old. We climbed more than 100 meters not only to see the exquisite tiled roofs of Bern, which were wonderful. We were there to inspect the site as an event space. Atop the cathedral tower, there is a rotunda perfect for aperitifs, concerts, strategy sessions, or ceremonies. It has a full catering and technical facility. There is, of course, one tiny detail. You have to climb the stairs to the rotunda. My fitness regimen for the day was done. Bern is a well-organized city, and little has changed since they started building their sandstone houses. So it's with good reason that UNESCO has declared the old city 6 kilometers of arcades along the central streets. During our exploration, we checked out the workshops and little stores in the arcades. This is my favorite kind of adventure. If seeing authentic local goods is your thing, there is a route laid out just for you, shopping in the Old City. Water in Switzerland needs its own special mention. It's like nowhere else on Earth, thanks to the direct supply from the Alps. Fresh drinking water is available in the fountains and even the tap in public restrooms, in mountain streams and lakes. It's said that the water carries information. If so, water in Switzerland carries not just health benefits, but positive thinking too. And of course, it tastes wonderful. Our walk finished at the old tram depot. It's been a long time since there were working trains here. Now it's where they brew fresh beer, offer homemade ice cream, and upstairs, hold conferences before having a beer tasting. Marco Mader runs this wonderful enterprise.
This place is very special. We started at 1988 with the brewery here. We have a brewery inside the restaurant. The brewery is 20 years old now, the restaurant. And we started in September with the production of the beer, and in the November we started with opening the restaurant for 21 years ago. Now we have open for everybody. We have more than 800 dinners each day. Yeah, that's the events. That's a special.
He has great business acumen. Choosing this place for his brewery was smart. Years ago, the city authorities decided to improve the conditions of the nearby pit, where bears lived a miserable existence. A spacious enclosure was built for the bears beside the Aire River, and the high riverbank was paved. Paid for with citizen contribution. Every paving stone is emblazoned with the name of a Bern resident. Those wishing to see the bears or the cobblestones can also have a tasty beer too. Eager to explore more of Bern's culinary delights, we headed for dinner at Cornhusker Restaurant. The restaurant was originally the city's barn and wine warehouse. It would make a brilliant location for a move set in the Middle Ages. It almost feels like you're dining in a castle. This is what Christian Müller-Kersten told us.
So this place is called Cereal Hall. Where we are down here is the wine cellar. It used to be the wine cellar of the city of Bern, and the cereals have been on the first and second floor upstairs. This building is from 1711, and around the year 1900, the restaurant was installed. In our restaurant, the most popular dish is the Chateaubriand, the oven-roasted fillet of beef for more person.
After a delicious dinner, it was obviously a restaurant to cope easily with large groups of discerning diners. The following morning, we wanted to shift some weight after the previous evening's Chateaubriand. We set off for the Greenbelt route, which stretches for 59 kilometers around the whole city. Bernhard invited us to ride on electrobikes, which he had rented at rentabike.ch, and were delivered to our starting point. If somebody says that electrobiking is not sporty, I disagree. A bicycle is still a bicycle. Climbing the Amantala Hills was easy with the electronic drive, making it possible for us to cycle easily uphill, as if we were riding on the flat. We rode beside rivers, across little bridges, and past neat farmsteads. Okay, sure, it wasn't the Tour de France, but we had a lovely time seeing the sights from our bikes. After our active morning, we returned to Bern to visit the city's most important hotel. Next to the Parliament, there's a palace-like Art Nouveau-style building housing the ultra-fashionable Bellevue Palace Hotel. When in 1848, Bern was granted federal city status, in other words, capital city, it needed an official residence for the Swiss government, hence the Bellevue Palace. The hotel terrace exudes luxury and elegance. It's magical to drink aperitifs while gazing at the Bernese Alps and Aire River. At such a place, you might just be the heroine in a novel by Françoise Sagan. Here, we met the chef de cuisine of the Swiss president, who is also, and always, the chef of Bellevue Palace Restaurant. He not only knows the preferences of the Swiss president, but also the presidents of other countries too, as he'll cook for them while they're visiting Bern. The chefs de cuisine of presidents, of course, have their professional chat groups too. Everything in this hotel is steeped in unique tales, which the sales director, Ariana Ludwig Maestri, happily shared with us.
So during World War I, it was the headquarters of the Swiss Army. During World War II, Bern was the espionage hub of Switzerland. So there are a lot of German, a lot of English, a lot of Russians, etc. here, and you had all those spies. And you probably know John Le Carré, which was a British writer. He did write 3 spy novels here at the Bellevue Palace because he got so inspired about the Bellevue Palace and about the story. And John Le Carré had even a Hollywood blockbuster in 2016, Our Kind of a Traitor, and he did write that here. So you see, there is a lot of stories. Even the mint press of Switzerland is part of the hotel. And Queen Elizabeth was staying with us. Gorbachev, Nelson Mandela, even Prince or Johnny Cash, they all stayed here, and you can discover 400 frames in the whole hotel. And yeah, the hotel is a history itself, right? A story itself, so there's a lot of storytelling. And we just want to make people feel welcome and to feel them home away from home in the official guest house of the Swiss Confederation and here in Bern at the UNESCO and main capital city, Bern.
The Bellevue Palace never rests on its laurels. It's always coming up with new ideas. This summer, the presidential suite, for instance, having dinner like the president among historic paintings, antique furniture, and 18th century books is something few would refuse. From the Belle Epoque to super modern style at the Designer Prizdel, inexpensive, functional, and cool. This is the largest hotel in Bern and this year's talking point for the Cognoscenti. The spectacular yellow-gray interior is by renowned Egyptian designer Karim Rashid, who has won 300 international prizes and is simply a living legend. He supplies all that is colorful and youthful. After the Bellevue Palace, it was hard to imagine a more contrasting place to be. This is what the hotel director, Cedric Madela, told us about the hotel idea.
Actually, our clients are design-orientated people from every age, like staying for a weekend in Bern actually, and enjoying our pretty own concept and designable people. Actually, we have 188 rooms, so we're the biggest hotel in the whole city of Bern, all for double use actually, and special rooftop bar for like up to 120 people. No conference rooms actually, just for the rooms, and the rooftop bar is a highlight for everyone from Bern and also our guests. Actually, we can close our rooftop bar for special events. It's up to 120 people, and if someone would like to celebrate some special occasion there, we close it for him or her.
As soon as we finished looking around Price Hotel, nature decided to give the Swiss Alps a good wash, and it started raining ferociously. We next planned an evening at the restaurant Mount Gürten, Bern's home mountain with its panoramic view of the city. Every city in Switzerland has a home mountain. This is where the city's inhabitants go to connect with nature and enjoy their country's panoramic scenery. We heard the sounds of water cascading, and we became curious to taste the wine in the cellars in the old-time farmstead atop the mountain, while June rain beat a rhythmic tattoo on the roof. We enjoyed the wonderful taste of delicious Swiss wines by candlelight. We learned in Switzerland there is no such thing as bad weather. There's always a plan B. The hotel for foreign tourists was built on Mount Gürten at the end of the 19th century. British, Russians, and Europeans would stay at the modest height of 585 meters before proceeding to the higher alpine resorts. The rain eventually subsided, allowing us to see a little of the city while having a dinner at Cornhusker Restaurant. Glasses of red wine and tasty meat from Emmental saved this rainy evening. I was so sad to end my time in Bern. I look forward to returning to enjoy its beauty and its magical peace and tranquility. As Bernhard Rehn, the head of the Bern Convention Bureau, says, this is an ideal place to combine itineraries in the city and in the mountains. And Convention Bureau is ready to help you to bring this into reality.
We are here to help all the planners with organizing the locations, venue scouting. You tell us what you are looking for. Then we block your allotments in the hotels. We organize transfers or evening dinner locations, city excursions. So you tell us what you need and we really will help you. And our services are free of charge for you. Bern is a perfect hub. It's centrally located, and to explore after meeting the Switzerland, it's to the mountains, it's 1 hour, to Lake Geneva region, it's 1 hour. And so we can organize also your excursions to almost every destination in Switzerland. Most of the people think it's the most beautiful city of Switzerland. And there we are the second greenest capital of Europe. It's all in walking distance. If you are once arrived in Bern, you will get your ticket for the public transportation, but finally, if you will explore the city, you can walk around, and it's all covered by arcades, so you never need an umbrella in our city.
You need professional conference management, you need Bern.
You need delicious beer, you need Bern.
You need a great dinner, you need Bern.
You need Swiss history, you need Bern.
You need design, you need Bern.
You need to calm down, you need Bern.